Have you ever tried getting into a new trading card game, but after a couple battles thought to yourself, if only I could change the text on these cards, it would be so much better. Be it your favorite champion who just doesn't make the cut on the battlefield because maybe he's a little bit weaker, or this sweet archetype that you really are excited to try, but it's just missing a few pieces. Well, in Upper Deck's Rush of Ikorr, with over 2,000 unique combinations that you can do with the Infusion cards, they are looking to answer that question itself. And this game reminds me a lot of my favorite board game, or one of my favorite board games called Mystic Vale, where you literally get to customize the cards as you're playing them. So again, shout out to Upper Deck Entertainment, who sent us a care package that has a bunch of starter decks and booster boxes in them. With that out of the way, let's dive in and find out what makes Rush of Ikorr so special. So yes, as I mentioned, we have a full booster box that we are going to be unboxing today, but I want to give a quick shout out to the rule book that was actually included in each one of these starter decks. I mean, it is a full color print, and this is just something like you don't see these days anymore, which is a nice kudos I want to give to them. However, there are a couple key rules that are missing, so I do want to call that out as well if you do get the starter decks. The influence cards, which are these things that we're going to talk about, any number of them can go in your deck other than the uniques, which can only be a one of, so hopefully we get some of those to talk about as we're going through it. But again, what makes this more interesting is that it can be played as a 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3 style of game. So there's a lot of different game modes that you can really get into, and that's something I really like too. As a focus now and where the market's at, I think you do need to have a multiplayer note up front. So very nice of them to see that kind of baked in, much like a few other more recent games are focusing on. So here is the back of the box. And just again, there are 291 unique cards. So we'll give a quick zoom of this just for those that want to pause and read everything. But I am going this a little bit blind. We do know that there's going to be 54 influence cards. So we'll talk about those more as they come up. And again, this is the ultra rare cards as well. Have not seen these yet, but I'm curious if how obvious it will be when we get them or not. So again, this will be more of a blind just unboxing, talking about my first impressions with it, talking about the card stock, things of that nature. And again, for those who are maybe unfamiliar, this entire game is based around various cultures for the theme. So there is Egyptian, Japanese, Greek, and Maya. So for me, I'm not as well versed, of course, in all these different ones, but there is actually a seal on that. Nice. So some of these I will either, mispronounce horribly or just not know. So I apologize in advance, but I guess that is half of the fun of it. So again, 9 cards per back, 24 per box. So very shiny when you open it, I will say, right? That is a very, very silvery focus. But as our normal unboxing goes, we're going to put it off to the side, quickly go through, the first half of the box we'll go through, do art by art, and then try to find the special stuff, the really shiny stuff, hopefully, that we'll get. So starting things up first, we have a Genenji Brute, a Miko, which again, I'm obviously going to be a little bit biased. I do love all the Japanese style cards. The card stock itself does feel a lot closer to like Magic the Gathering Lorcana. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I traditionally play mostly Japanese trading card games, so I'm used to a thicker stock. Not good or bad per se right now, but I'll have to shuffle it up and see how it does overall. The Vulture Way, the Sacred Game. And this is going to be one of the infusion cards, which is probably going to be really hard to see unless I stack it up with the cards. So this is the part that I'll note of every time you have one of these infusion cards, it literally changes the way that these cards are played. However, some cards will have a infusion cost or no infusion cost. So in this case, we have the Miko as an example, which has up to 3 infusion points that can be allocated to it. And this one takes 2. So this is just one example of how you could change this card, but any infusion cards for up to 3 can be used with this. So again, over 2,000 in total combinations. But for me, what I'm really curious to see is the unique effects. Like you could have in a deck where every single card that could have this effect on it could be included. So if it gets back in focus, this champion cannot be attacked by champions with lesser attack. So if you have a bunch of 2 influence cards, every single one of them, in theory, could have this same exact ability. So this really does open up a ton of deck building options at the end of it. So gray on the red. I believe, I think this is rarity in the very bottom corner here, or I should say bottom center. And that's where you see the rare. Then, of course, we have attack and health. That does blend in a little bit. And then this is the raid amount for how much Ikorr you get. we are going to get, our first foil, and this is going to be your avatar. So think of this as your leader for your style of deck. This one has Rush 3. So what's interesting a little bit about this game is as you're getting these Rush of Ikorr, the Ikorr points, you actually have to spend them to use this once per turn ability. Now, most of this one doesn't say once per game, but in the rules it is, and then they'll have a base effect. But which avatar you pick is the factions that you ultimately get to use. And then the last thing I really like is in each one of these you have an influence card, and this is quite literally just your mana, your resource, as it were. But we have a few here now, and it seems like you can use any of them in your deck. They are just strictly, again, influence cards for the sake of being called influence cards, but each one of them counts as one influence. And the artwork is just gorgeous. So even just like for tokens, I love these. So kind of a side note is just like a, token style thing. Really love this from a design perspective. But again, we're going to go through about half of the box, see what we get. Avatar foils, again, no idea the rarity per box or anything like that. This is all kind of a first look of everything. I'm making sure that this gets in focus. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle your deck, then draw a card. I love just good old cantrips, right? So I guess I probably should have organized these a little bit better. So there's our rare. This will be our commons and uncommons that I'm just going to put off to the side really quick. Ooh, that's great artwork, actually. Stargazer. So another champion. Gain 1 this turn only. So it's a summon effect, which gives you an influence. So it's a ramp of sorts. Although it's limited, of course, that turn only. First, Fierce Spearman, Center Archer, Pythagoras the Visionary. We have another one of the regular infusion cards. This champion has +1 raid, so raid is the amount of Ikorr that you're gaining. Imhotep, I believe is how you pronounce that. Edmund Hand. And then we got a foil. Ooh, and a foil influence. Nice. This is a foil common in this case. So every card can come foil, it looks like, if this gets back in focus. Okay, so I was going to save this for the end of the video, but now I'm really curious. And this is the foil influence card. That looks gorgeous. So I opened up one of the boosters that came in the starter decks, and I got this card, which the foiling is sick. And I'm not sure how well this is going to come through in my camera, but a really nice, like, textured, shattered background. Where this is, the same card, but a more base foil. And maybe these are going to happen side by side. I guess that's probably the best view you can get on it. I really like this. However, again, when we look at the bottom of the cards here, if this gets in zoom, there's no difference, or there's no like star or asterisk or anything like that. So I thought this might just be like a special foil for the common cards, but this is sick. I really do like that foiling. So we'll have to come back to that to see if that matters or not, but we'll have to find out. Again, there is a foil in every single pack that is guaranteed, up front, but we'll have to wait to see the rarity breakdown and all that good stuff. So Funerary Priest, Blood Ritual, sacrifice a champion if you do draw 2 cards. So champions are units in this game. Probably should have addressed that up front, but I love the self-sacrifice, draw a bunch of cards. Fix Ritual Practitioner. Ooh. Nice. So another avatar that I have not seen yet. So Typhon, Sire of Beasts. Target allied beast gains when this champion destroys a champion by battle and survives. Secure 1 Ikorr until end of turn. So this is really interesting because I forget if it's the example that I used, right? Or, yeah, it is. So with this exact combination, you could put any cards you want in here as a beast. Just as long as they have the 1 influence, you can actually change the typing to make your cards work with this avatar. So that's really cool. This is the kind of stuff that really intrigued me about this game, just from a deck building and deck exploration standpoint. So this is really cool. And then Rush 3, search your hand, deck, and graveyard for any number of beasts with a combined influence cost of 6 or less and summon them. Hand, deck, and graveyard. Summon from your deck. Okay, so this is literally just find your best influence card, right? Make sure you champion it up, and then you can just tutor this for free. That's dope. I really like this. We'll have to see how many more avatars that we ultimately get. This champion has +2 health, just putting that off to the side. A Burnt Incense Ritual. Add a card from your graveyard to your hand. The next time you play a card with that name this turn, reduce its cost by 1. So nice graveyard recursion style of stuff. We have, oh, this is another one of that. Interesting. So there's the influence card really quick just to show off more of the art. I'm running out of space for my influence cards. Let's put that in the stack. So this appears to have that same type of foiling because like the edge is unique, but it doesn't come across on the card itself. Oh, wait, actually the fire a little bit. Okay, okay. Huh, that's interesting. So secure, you may target a champion in the void and add it to your hand. Okay, so this is, again, the same style of foiling. So we'll have to figure out how many this is per box. So I'm going to put this up top here as a note. But interesting. Maybe that was on the back of the box and I just missed it while I was, you know, trying to get ready for the unboxing, all that stuff. We had some issues with the recording, so hopefully my camera is good for all this. Labor, Toad Way, Labyrinth of Crete, Divine Vengeance, oops, Priest of Seth, and then another one. An allied's avatar power cost 0 this turn. That's a sick seal that's on it too. And so the way that we know if these are unique or not, there'll be another symbol on here. So this just seems to be another token one. And then we have the Mizuchi Writhing River. And then, ooh, that also, okay, it also looks like we got a similar theme here for our influence. Put that off to the side. Hercules Heroic Paragon. It has like a, I'm trying to figure out if that's a texturing or, yes. Oh, it is the ultra rare. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to get this. So it does say you are down there. And we do have that bit of texturing in the background. There you can finally see it. So this is more of what we're expecting. But man, a 10 influence. So your influence goes up to 10 in this game. So this is the max amount. Fury, Raid of 4, which is insane. This champion gets +1 attack for each allied human. Allied humans cannot be attacked as long as this champion is on the battlefield. So again, going into that human archetype, I'm assuming that there is going to be an influence card that says change them to humans. So this is a really cool one to see. And obviously really nice texturing on that as well. All right, so that's our first ultimate rare, which might be the only ultimate rare in the box. Again, we don't know. Kind of going through this as we can. This gets back in focus. Hoplite, Light Infantry, Song of the Muses, Red Vast, Grand Shine. Oh, this is also another one I should mention. Each player can have one location on their battlefield at a time, unless otherwise stated. There's some cards that you play multiple. And this is just, think about it as like an enchantment from other card games where it just sits in the battlefield, a stadium. You get that effect, right? A stage, what have you. So when an allied player draws their second card during your turn, heal 2 from a champion that player controls. So a nice healing effect. I really like that prismatic owl on there. Greek champions you control get +1 attack this turn as our infusion card. Benzatine, Eloquent Flow. So end fully heal allied champion. So just end of your turn. We love a good heal. That is a rare. Forge by the Cyclops here is going to be a common. Target champion with support may support an additional time this turn. And then there is another one of those foil influence cards. I really love these influence cards. So we got 2 in this box already. Foils we're going to put here otherwise. Quickly trying to open these packs as we're going through it. So we still have a few more packs, and then I'm just going to quickly try to go through and show off the shiny, but I still want to make note here of, because there's 291 unique cards, right? Spend a little bit more time. Spoiler, there's our first unique showing these off. So there's Musha. And finally, our first, actually, it doesn't have, so it's gold, which means I assume that this is a unique, but it doesn't have, there's supposed to be like 3 feathers on it to note it. But it has quick strike. So this is going to be a way to give something haste. That gold stamping is actually really cool. Might have to find out either in editing or the rules to see more information about this. But quick strike, definitely going to be a strong word. Then we have Bennu, Brilliant Return. So another reanimate summon effect. We have our foil. Get that back in focus. Diligent Scribe, and another one of our influence cards. Again, I'm going to keep saying it, but I'm just a sucker for the art cards. You know, get 10 of your favorite artworks and just have them out on the battlefield is pretty sick. And, of course, you know, chasing them as the foil collector, as it were. Stonemason, Sohei Initiate, Inspired Bard. Oops. The Great Sphinx of Giza. Amaterasu card. Destroy target spirit or yokai. So this is an interesting influence based on the meta. Amaterasu's Brilliance. Stun all champions. And then for our foil, whenever this champion strikes a champion, stun that champion. That is a cool, just a base foil here, but love that artwork and how like the eyes pop in this one. So again, you get 2 of the factions per deck based on your avatar. We'll have to see how many more avatars that we might open in this box. We only got the 2 avatars so far, actually. Now that I'm thinking about this, you know, about halfway through the box, so we'll have to wait and see what other ones are available, but hopefully there's a good variety of them within the first set. That is some really sick artwork. Summon, prevent all damage that would be dealt to target champion this turn. Very nice Omori Charm. Love that. Charm of Protection. Fury and Swift for our rare. Masked Priest as the foil, and then another foil of this influence card. I wonder if there's going to be like a textured foil for these, or if it's just going to be the base foil that we have for the other cards. But again, pretty cool to see. Get this back in focus. So personally, loving a lot of the green cards already. We'll have to, you know, finish opening up the box and seeing how things go. Try to upgrade this starter decks a little bit. Oh, there we go. Another avatar. So we have red and yellow. Return a Maya champion from your graveyard to your hand, and then a rush 3 effect. Search your hand, deck, and graveyard for champions named. I'm not even going to try. I apologize. Summon one and add the other to your hand. Okay, so this one is very clearly focused around those 2 synergies. So this is an interesting one. Just a basic Swift influence card, as it were. Then we have the Boundless Bolt. It's a rare. Blessing of... There's the influence card before I forget again. Does that have that texturing in? Yeah, so this has that texturing again as well. See if where this gets. Interesting. So this is the second one out of the box that we have so far. And again, it doesn't have any additional rarity on it that we can at least tell or see. But, ooh, really love that artwork as well. Then I just accidentally... Here we go. Yamabushi. This is... Sorry, I just really love the snowfall pattern artwork of this. I thought that was really neat. Samurai Cavalry, Calculating Theorist, Perfidious Counselor, Venomous Asp. Ooh, lethal. So Death Touch. Nice, as you'd expect. This champion is a beast in addition to other types. That's the one that we got already. There is the other card that we just opened, Blessing of Osiris, which is a rare. Ooh. Then Glimpse of Olympus as our foil for the pack if it get back on the camera there. And then, of course, another influence card. All right, this is the last card for the first half of the box. So after this, we are going to just speed open the pack, see what we get towards the back, and go from there. But wanted to spend a little bit more time showing off the artwork as we're going through it. That's really beautiful artwork too. Man, again, and this might just be someone who's, you know, grew up playing Magic and whatnot, but I truly do love the art style. Here's another gold one. So sorry, I probably should try to get this on frame at the same time. Death, if it is your turn, return target champion with lesser influence cost from your graveyard to your hand. I do love just the Jade Funerary Mask. Interesting. Oh, that's what it is. I see now, if this gets back in focus. This is one of the ultra rare influences. So there's also rarity to the influences and then also unique on top of that. Very interesting. I'll have to see in the bigger set what that looks like. Thoth Thrice Great. Love our bird boy. And then the foil Jaguar Spirit and a regular influence card. All right. Second half of the box, we are going to just speed open at this point. Try to get to the back, or I guess get to the influence card, right? and show that off if there's anything interesting. Iza, which is going to be the rare, a foil. Again, also very sick artwork on this one. And then, ooh, okay, nice. I got our foil influence card of one of the ones I was hoping to get. So I guess 2 avatars per box so far, plus the foil one that we have. Another ultra rare influence. Oops, this gets back on. This champion can both attack and raid. That's actually really good. Oh, okay. Knew the busted one had to be unique. So there it is. We finally got the unique symbol. So this is a I shouldn't say one of one. Like everyone has this access to this influence, but you can only have one of this in your entire deck, and it's going to cost 3 points. So this is a very, very strong effect for what it does. And we have Seth, got another foil, Devoted Militia, a regular foil of that one. Okay, so we have 1 ultra rare and 1 unique influence so far per box. So activate a location you control. Interesting. So just a free activate effect. Pegasus for our rare, if that gets in focus. And, another one of those foils. Sorry, I really love this foil. I don't know what it is, but like the extra. I normally don't like lighter border cards around compared to like the black that we normally see, but the color on this really pops with the foiling. And then in these itself, the texturing is a little bit of hit or miss. Like it gets lost in the darker background here, but it's a really cool foiling style. Something that I haven't quite seen to that degree yet. All right, so our influence card as well. And this is just an uncommon one. So again, the influence cards have rarity to them. That's something we'll have to go back at the end and see. The Great Edo. This costs 9. Oh, destroy all opposing champions. Well, there you go. We got a board wipe. You love to see it in card games. Ooh, there we go. Another foil avatar. So we have Sobek, Gift Bringer. Heal 2 from an allied champion. And then the first time each allied champion would take damage this turn, prevent that damage. And this is a uncommon, I guess, avatar. And that is going to be blue and green for the comparison. Okay, so I did like green, so that might be one of the ones that we try making. Skip here to the end. As long as this champion is on the battlefield, locations cannot be targeted. Okay, so another kind of blessing style of card. We have Triton if it gets in focus, regular foil, and regular influence art. Let me put that with that stack up there. So I will say the one challenge I'm seeing with the influence cards is that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to organize them within a box. Probably just do it by rarity all the same, but trying to see the various effects, might be a little interesting how to organize them. Probably do them by influence costs themselves, right? Whenever champion you control deals non-strike damage, heal 1 from this champion. Okay, so like range style of stuff. We have Tomo Gozen, Furious Blade, the foil of the card that we showed off at the start, regular influence card. Last few packs here, so definitely guessing that it is going to be 1 ultra rare per box. When this champion strikes a champion and survives, draw a card. Nice. Enlightenment, Royal War Chariot. Looks like 5-ish packs left. Again, there was 24 packs per box, ultimately. Trying to showcase the influence cards because I find them so interesting. This champion's base attack is equal to its health. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Cost 3. Understandable. The Writhing River again. Blessing of Ice. That we've gotten that one actually. That's a rare, right? Yeah, it is a rare. The influence card. This is probably my favorite artwork, at least that I've opened so far. So again, 1 rare per pack or better. 1 foil per pack. Pretty standard stuff. Retreat a location with an influence cost equal or less than this champion's. Interesting. So I'm assuming that means you can bounce your opponents back, which is definitely an interesting effect. Khufu, and then Seal of Divine Protection. Getting that really awesome foiling again. So that's number 4 in the box. Last few packs here. Deal 1 damage to another opposing champion with a... Ooh, that's actually kind of nice. 2 influence cost, though. Heat Lightning. Then we have the Onmyoji Exorcist. Oops, and that is non-foil. Trying to make sure I have all my influences in the right pile here, I should say. I think actually I just realized I've been calling influence versus infusion cards. Excuse me. It's been a morning. So the infusion card, another target allied champion gets +2 attack on a turn. Nice. Ooh, that is a Comet's Deathbringer. That is a sick artwork. Reanimate, so it definitely comes back, and then a 4 raid effect. We have the Onsen and another foil influence card. So that's our nice little stack over here. 2 more cards, packs to go, and then we'll see where things go from here. Ooh, another gold one. Another ultra rare. This is another unique. When this champion strikes a champion, stun that champion, draw a card. Yeah, I would say that is pretty strong. Got our rare, fully heal target champion. Yeah, I love keeping my units on the board, it turns out. And then last pack. So maybe it is just going to be the 1 ultra rare per box, it looks like. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to your graveyard, so you can play like a self-mill strategy. All cards cost 1 more to play. Sword Hunt and a non-foil influence for the last. So to just do a little recap here on the side as I clean up a little bit. So we did get 2 unique infusion cards, which again, these can be... Infusion cards are generally any number per deck, but if they have... let me do it this way. It's probably easier to read, right? If they have this gold leaf on it, means you can only have 1 of these in the entire deck. This is, of course, the cost the card must have as well. Very strong effect, I will say. And then the other one that we got is this champion can both attack and raid. So very strong for a good, nice offensive card, but also making sure that you're getting your Ikorr. And then for our ultra rare of the box, we got the big man himself. 10 influence. This card is going to be an absolute titan when it comes into the battlefield. So it does look like 1 ultra rare per box. When it comes to the special foiling that we covered, we did get 4 of these. So what is that? 1 in 6, it looks like, that we get for these. And again, really love the foiling type itself. And then, of course, the various rares and whatnot that we have to go through. So this is something that I'll have to spend a little bit of time to go to my LGS, making sure that I'm sleeving up and getting a chance to demo the game with them. So make sure to follow me on Twitter or X at Cosmic Plays if you want to see some of those live updates as it goes on. But otherwise, again, shout out to Upper Deck Entertainment for sending us the box to dive into this game with and get a little bit more information in front of us. Because, again, it does remind me very much of one of my favorite board games. So I'm excited to see how this actually plays out from a deck building principle. So until next time, my friends, stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.